You dirty rat! Welcome to another fresh off the stalls. Don't worry, I'm not going to keep that accent up. Found my trilby. If any of you do actually pay any attention to what I say on Twitter, I found it eventually. So hooray! Trilby time for the fresh off the stall for the gangster caper that is the Sting. Don't have any bourbon, having to do with rum. That is good. Yes, the Sting. So the Sting, that's what I've been to see tonight. It's set in 1930s Chicago and surrounding area, which is why I'm dressed like this with Trilby. There you go, gimmick done, out the way. So on to the actual review. So this is really interesting. This is the show that's opening opened, I suppose. It's happened. It's in the past now, technically. The newly refurbished Wilton's Music Hall. Now, find me someone who doesn't like Wilton's Music Hall, and I'll show you someone who's even more miserable than I am, and that takes some doing, let's face it. So, yeah, it's a really sort of big caper based on the film of the same name. It opens a hall, and I was expecting a lot from this, actually, but also really interesting how they do something that's very filmic, in a big musical space. Having been there in the past, I know how big it is and how difficult working that space can be. Unfortunately, my fears were a little bit founded, and I'll say why, but that's not to say this is a bad play. I think that's what's going to be really interesting about my written review. So I say the play is good, the actors are good, the production is really bold, but it's just not something that I think is suited for Wilton's Music Hall. Why? Because it's so big and amazing, and I love the space, but it's too big. Everything echoes. There is no sense of appropriate ambience to this play. It's supposed to be sort of, black and white gangster caper, and the voices echo, the live piano in the background just kind of seems lost in the space, and the whole production seems lost in the space. You've got this huge high stage, and it just feels tiny. And that's kind of my main criticism of the piece. I think in a small venue where they can get the acoustic a lot tighter, a lot more atmospheric, and make the show look like it fits in the space better, and it'd be a really good show. Why? I think the writing's pretty good. I say pretty good. Actually, I said it's a bit slow to start, and the production itself is a little bit stylized. As minimum set, people are kind of freezing and running around at bits, and the thing is, this is a show that really relies on the action of the narrative to drive it, and you don't have that at the very beginning. It's quite a slow pace trying to set up, and there's nothing visually much there to engage. You're almost sort of reminded that this is a stylized production. However, when you get to the end of Act 1, and certainly all the way through the second act, it doesn't matter anymore. You forget that they're creating scenes using just a few tables and crates and a few telephone cords coming out of the wings, because you're so involved in the action. I don't know the film, and the film is something I'm probably going to look up after this, so I can't really say how well it compares to the film. At times, I suppose I felt it was a bit more Chaplin than Capone, but I kind of get the sense that is what even if it's not quite what the film is pitched at, this is certainly what the stage adaptation is pitched at. It's a little bit goofy, it's a lot of fun, and it does have that sort of very gripping intrigue of a very intricate caper, actually. I'm not going to give anything away about any of the narrative, but I must say I was taken along for the ride. That's sure. I don't know why I'm still holding this up. Let's put this down. Let's have some more rum. So in short, it's a sound play, bit slow at the beginning, but makes up for it at the end. Just lost in that beautiful newly revamped space that is Wilton's Music Hall. Sound levels really are an issue there. It's a wonderful idea to have sort of in between scenes, especially a live piano playing ragtime and jazz. It just gets a bit lost. I think I've said that already. And there's also some bits, especially with everything getting lost into that big acoustic, where I suppose it could have done with a bit more atmospheric underscoring. Not necessarily with the piano. We don't want to make this feel like they don't want the show to feel too silent film. And I suppose it is a sort of risk that they take if they put more piano in. But yeah, certainly go and see it. It's definitely worth a look. It's just I just don't think it's the right thing for the venue. Let's get into some of the acting in this big thing. It's a giant rustly piece of paper that makes for a programme, which is exactly what you want to be sitting next to in the theatre. I got told off by the fellow critic who was sitting next to me. He's just kind of like, stop playing your programme. Sorry, didn't realise I was making that much noise. So yeah, I think the leads are really great. If I can just pick them out, Bob Cryer of Gorndorf is really sort of bolshy, carefree, mastermind of it all, and I really liked. If I can find them, and maybe I should have tried to look this up beforehand. I'm really good at this, aren't I? Anyway, yeah, the other lead guy. I can't remember the character name off the top of my head. This is really going well. I think he's really good as the over-earnest, kind of very cool, kind of very sly. He plays the perfect grifter, and really brings that to the fore. I really loved, and I can't remember her name, and I can pick her up for me, who plays, who does the singing on the side. I can't. Yes, Nina Christopherson. She's got this wonderful voice. She does these bits of singing, and she's kind of got this really sort of broad, really sort of swaggering jazz singer narration going on. I thought she was a really nice touch to it as well. Kind of held things together, kind of made the scenes flow towards with each other. So yeah, this is a good play. Go see it. I know I'm sounding quite negative about sort of how the production's lost in the space, how the pace doesn't move doesn't move quick enough at the beginning. But I think it's got everything else that makes for a good night out. This is certainly worth your money. I mean, to be honest, I was expecting to be somewhat entertained anyway. I mean, what has this got to compete against this week? Dusty? It's better than Dusty. That's something. That's what most shows in London just have as a tagline at the moment. It's better than Dusty. So yeah, I'm going to drink more rum, stop prattling on, and get out of this. I need to get to bed. It's late. I look ridiculous. What else can I say? So yeah, thank you very much. This is not quite the razzmatazz relaunch of Wilton's Music Hall that I was expecting, but you know, it's a solid piece. I think so. I said something in the tweet like, there's adequate returns on this bet, but nothing amazing. So yeah, I'm going to stop there because I'm just finding I'm repeating myself now. So get yourself a cup of coffee. Oh wait, that's more New York than Chicago. I don't know. And all that jazz. Yeah, maybe not. Bye. I said bye. Why isn't bye?